Who were the two men that killed Ian Watkins from the Lostprophets? Now, I've done the video yesterday about it, talking about when he was murdered inside of HMP Wakefield, also known as Monster Mansion. And I did say I'll give you an update when I found out who the defendants were. And I am going to delve into a little bit about the background, about the sentence that they are serving, and what will actually happen to them now that they've actually done this. They've been charged. It's been done on the landing, and it's been done, obviously, in front of cameras. So in cases like this, it'll still be took to court, took to trial, and they will try and plead to a manslaughter. They'll probably try and say they were trying to slash his face. They've accidentally slashed his jugular. So the pair of them have come out on the morning and they have attacked Ian Watkins. Now, these two defendants, Rashid Gedel and Samuel Dodsworth. Rashid Gedel was, I'll go into it, a bit of a gang member, whereas Samuel Dodsworth was a bacon. Because as I've mentioned, HMP Wakefield, also known as Monster Mansion, is a predominantly bacon prison. And there was someone yesterday, because there is some new subscribers on my channel, saying what's a bacon? A bacon is a nonce, because bacon bonce rhymes with nonce, and that's the prison slang for these type of offenders. Now, everyone knows the former Lostprophets frontman, because I've done stories on him before, mentioned him yesterday, and I've done videos on it previously. If you go back and have a look, you will see I've done a 20-minute in-depth video talking about why he was in prison. He was in prison serving a 29-year prison sentence. It was a fixed-term sentence. It wasn't a life sentence, so he would have been released. It was still a parole sentence, so he was eligible for parole in the not-too-distant future. But luckily, he will not be able to come to harm to any more little ones, because Watkins was one of the worst bacons possible, one of the worst bacons ever. Like, when you delve into it and have a look into what he was actually up to, what he was doing, and what he wanted to do with the 6-month-old, was absolutely horrendous. So everyone, over the majority, everyone agreed on the video yesterday that prison justice was definitely served up in the correct manner for these types of bacons, because like I've mentioned previously, I talk a lot about them on here, and I talk the majority of the videos on here, I talk about prison justice, and in my eyes, prison justice is the best form of justice, because obviously these type of offenders, when they get sentenced, they don't get a big enough sentence. And not only that, these type of offenders have got a different way of thinking when it comes to little ones. And whatever sentence you give them, they will not change. They cannot change their preference. That's what they like. They cannot change. So the only way to change them is to do what these two inmates done. So I'm going to delve into the first one, who is Rashid Gedel, who was 25. And I'll just go into the story a little bit here. So the title on that one is Drug Dealers Jailed for Life for Mistaken Identity of London Man. Rashid Gedel and another man were in a group of 6 who fatally stabbed Saven Badzak 22 and wounded his friend 16. So the two drug dealers who stabbed a young man to death in a case of mistaken identity in London have been jailed with a minimum term of 27 years. So Gadell would have been serving a 27-year minimum term. And like it says in this article that I'm reading now, it was a case of mistaken identity and the poor lad lost his life. He also got a 12-year sentence to run concurrent with the 27-year sentence. And 2 sentences, yes, so that was to run concurrently with that sentence. So obviously, that type of offender isn't classed as a bacon. Obviously, the dealers, they've went after someone and they're getting someone by mistaken identity. They've stabbed them two kids up, or them two lads. One was 16 and the other one was 22. And that was in northwest London on the 6th of February 2021. So he still had 23 years left before he was eligible for parole. But what will happen with him, because he's already serving a life sentence and he's committed murder whilst serving that sentence, the possibility is that he will be given life without parole. If it's not life without parole, it will be increased, and his minimum term will end up being round about 50 years before he is eligible for parole. But the odds are, when prisoners kill other prisoners, they normally get life without parole. So the other fella, Samuel Dodsworth, who was a bacon, it says in the article here, a 36-year-old Derby man has admitted kidnapping, imprisoning and raping a woman at his home. Samuel Dodsworth grabbed his 52-year-old victim from the street before keeping her at his address in Grange Street in Normanton, where he raped her 5 times. Dressed in a tracksuit top, he looked downwards with his head hung low as he pleaded guilty to 7 charges at Derby Crown Court. No details of the offence, which all took place, were read out in court. Obviously, Dodsworth pleaded guilty. He denied an unrelated assault with intent to commit a robbery charge, which was alleged to have taken place on a separate victim shortly before the kidnap. So the sentence that he got for that one, 2 seconds, where was it at? I did have it read out before, but he was given a fixed sentence, 2 seconds, of when lost. Yeah, but I'll get it back up. But obviously this type of prisoner was a bacon. So a lot of people were saying, like, send these men money, release these men, take time off them, take time off the sentence, or let them out. But obviously not for this type of bacon. Yeah, 2 seconds. I've just totally lost it. It was it doesn't matter, right? I'll come back to that. But he was serving a fixed term sentence, so he will now be given a life sentence, and his sentence will possibly be turned into life with a minimum of around about 35 years, 35 to 40 years before he is eligible for parole. So that's what happens inside of prison. But again, these type of offenders, normally when the murder's happening inside of prison, it's the majority of them happen on the bacon wings. It's normally bacon on bacon. And like I've said many a times, two wrongs make a right in this situation, because obviously one of them's gone and the other one is going to be serving a massive extra sentence, and he will not be released for a very long time, and that's whether or not he will be released at all. So again, like I said, two wrongs make a right in this situation, and Ian Watkins can no longer go on to do what he was doing, because again, he still has a massive fan group. He gets inundated. I've been informed that he gets inundated with fan mail still. Can you believe that? You get some sick women as well who are into this type of shit. Like I say, he gets massive fan mail of all these types of women. So imagine when he gets out and he's got all these women who will have children, something would have happened further down the line. So these little ones have been saved. And obviously Samuel Dodsworth is also a bacon, which could go on to attack more women when he is released. And like I say, Gadell will be serving, I would imagine, life without parole. But I will keep you updated on what happens in the sentencing, obviously when the trial is upcoming, because like I've said, even though it's on camera, because in every prison up and down the country, they've got cameras all over the place. There's not many blind spots inside a prison where you can get away with these type of things. Obviously, they don't have cameras inside the cells, but this one has happened out on the landing. The jugular has been done. He has bled out on the floor. He has come to a sorry, sticky end. But, like I've mentioned before, people don't have sympathy for these type of offenders, apart from all of these women who keep sending them fan mail, these ones who are still obsessed with them, these freakos, which you couldn't make it up, could you? Someone that's gonna do this, or someone that was doing these type of offences to little ones, and then what he wanted to do to the 6-month-old, that is just beggars belief. How any woman would want to have contact with someone like that. So I'll leave that one there for now, people. I will keep you updated on anything else that comes about it. But these two individuals will be put in the segregation unit. They will be put on a CSU, a closed supervision unit. They will be monitored, obviously. They'll be striped up, and they will not be on normal landings. Well, they weren't on normal landings anyway, but normal landings on the bacon wings for a very long time. I wouldn't imagine it would take long for this case to get to court, maybe 6 to 10 months, because it'll be a straightforward case. I wouldn't be surprised if, like I say, they'll try and go down the route of manslaughter, because they will say that when they've done him, they've tried to just do his face and they've accidentally done that, which will not work. They will be convicted on the murder, and they will get exactly what I've just said. But anyways, people, I'm going to leave that one there for now. And as usual, if you are enjoying the content, remember to comment, like, and subscribe. There will be daily videos, sometimes maybe 2. So keep tuned, people. And if you have a look on my other channel, which is Ricky Colleen New. That is where I'm going to be putting me motivation stuff, travel videos, and different types of videos like that, and bits of fitness, and talking about recovery, addiction. So if you're into that sort of thing, go follow the other channel. The link will be in the description. Take care, everyone. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe.